Hi Cancer, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy, and this is your reading for September 2019 mid-month. So we're looking at the last half of September 2019. Welcome to everyone who's joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers, first-timers, and welcome back to followers and subscribers. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today, for all your support, comments, feedbacks, likes, shares, subscribes. Always welcome and always appreciated. Thanks to all of my clients out there for not only continuing to keep me so busy, but for so many of you returning time and time again. It's always an honor and a pleasure to read for you. And I'm always conscious of the trust that people place in me to look at, the different issues that we talk about in our readings. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you. If any of you are interested in scheduling a personal reading with me, just click on the description link below for more info and contact details. I offer a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. I can usually respond to initial inquiries the same day or within the first 24 hours, and setting up actual readings is done in a pretty timely fashion too. I'm very blessed to be able to do readings full-time 6 days a week. It's all that I do, so I'm pretty diligent at working with both your schedules and mine to set up readings as quickly as possible. So email me if you're interested and we'll move on from there. Okay, this reading is for the water sign of Cancer for the last half of September 2019. This is for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, Cancer Moon, or the Venus sign of Cancer, or for those of you who are cross-watching for Cancerians. Although, as you know, general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody watching. So it's helpful if you know all of your signs to watch the videos for those as well. Okay, Cancer. Oh, I think I'm done. Let's see what the last half of September holds for you. We begin with the King of Swords, followed by the Hermit. We have the Three of Pentacles, followed by the Two of Pentacles. From the bottom of the deck, overall energy and focus is the Page of Cups. So Cancer, the overall energy for the last half of September is the Page of Cups. This can be a young person or a child that's important to you during this time. Pages often represent messages, messengers, and cups is water energy, which is emotional energy in the tarot. This deals with our emotional landscape, and it's also the area of our life that deals with relationships directly. So pages can represent a message of love, of support, of encouragement, but in a small, almost childlike, innocent, or playful sort of way. This can represent little text messages, little email messages, little messages whispered in your ear, or vice versa. Sometimes this can represent, reaching out for an apology. In terms of, conversing with other people, the Page of Cups is small messages, or like the early beginnings of messages, just somebody kind of throwing a little something out there to see if you're interested. Can also represent little flirty messages as well. Pages are the energies that precede knights, and knights are the ones that deliver. So if it was the Knight of Cups, he would be actually making an offer or expressing his feelings openly for you, or you to somebody else. So pages are kind of the energy that precedes that in terms of love messages or support and encouragement messages. It's almost kind of like throwing out a feeler to see, what the response is going to be, or just a cute little message. It's interesting because I feel like for many of you, this is going to be centered around a relationship, and a relationship with someone who's showing up as a king. Although for some of you, this king could be you. It's a King of Swords, so it might be an air sign individual, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But in general readings, it can be any gender, male or female, or any sign. But it's somebody who's at this time coming across as the King of Swords. So swords is air energy, and in the tarot, The energy of swords is mental energy. It's all about what goes on up in our heads. Words, ideas, communication, belief systems, ideologies, because everything that goes on up in here and the way that we perceive things affects the way that we see, communicate, relate our own words and our ideas outward. So it's about everything that goes on up in our heads. Can also point to truth, clarity, wisdom, insight, what's right, higher education and learning. So the King of Swords is at the top of his game because he's matured beyond that energy of the page, the energy of the knight, and now he's a king or a queen. So this is somebody who's probably able to communicate clearly, although maybe not with as much emotional presentation or content as, say, the King of Cups would. This is somebody who tends to be focused on the practicalities or the details. He likes to not sugarcoat things too much, get right to the point. This is what I'm delivering. This is the information. Somebody who definitely has control over his thoughts and the ways that he communicates. And I feel like for many of you, you are in a relationship with somebody who manifests like this, whether they're an air sign or not. And he's sitting on his throne as if he's contemplating something. And I feel like he or she is in the process of contemplating something right now. And I feel like they may be withdrawing or going away for a little while, or even if it's not in a physical way, maybe in an emotional way, because the King of Swords is clarified by the Hermit. Now, for some of you, this might be your energy kind of taking a step back. What do hermits do? Hermits, monks, monastics. What do? They withdraw from the distractions of normal day-to-day life so that they can pay attention and focus inwards, because they're seeking wisdom, insight, clarity on something. They're using their own life's experience and wisdom and maybe reaching out for any kind of spiritual guidance from God, spirit angels and guides, to find an answer to something that will help light the way through something for them. So trying to find an answer, trying to find a path, trying to find the way. And I feel like you're involved with somebody who is doing this. He or she is contemplating something, trying to make a decision as to what to do. Now, for some of you, you are the one kind of extending out this little message, feeling this person out on something. It could be them doing this with you. Because I feel like this person is trying to make up their mind whether or not to enter into a partnership with you or change the nature of that partnership. And this could be in a romantic relationship, like taking it to the next step. And if so, how to do that? Should I offer this? Or if you've offered them, maybe they're considering whether or not they should take the offer. I feel like for many of you, this other person is trying to make up their mind whether or not to perhaps make this relationship or partnership, because it could be a friend or a business thing as well, to take it to another place, to make it perhaps more official. This could be moving in together, getting engaged, getting married. Because we have the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles next. So the Three of Pentacles, but I feel like they're going at it in a more practical way than you are. That's what I'm getting. For a few of you, it might be this person who is a very air sign or earth sign kind of individual, and maybe the emotional realm is not as easy for them, and they tend to kind of go about it in a more practical, kind of concrete sort of way as well. Because I feel, Cancer, you're a lovely water sign, lots of emotion inside of you. You're an emotionally based person, and I feel like you're involved in a relationship with somebody who's not so much like that, or even the polar opposite of that. And so their approach even to emotional situations is, okay, let me make a list, and what's the details, and maybe I should discuss this with other people. Because the Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork and collaboration, and it's sitting next to the King of Swords. So, and then underneath is the Two of Pentacles, which is kind of going back and forth in duality between two things, or juggling two things. And the Two of Pentacles is sitting next to the Hermit. So for some of you, you might be the King of Swords, you know, maybe spending a bit more time to yourself or withdrawing, whether physically or just mentally, emotionally. And you're kind of going back and forth between two things in regards to a partnership. Now, for some of you, this might be a business partnership. For some of you, it's going to be within a relationship, and maybe you're thinking about taking the relationship to another level or making it more formal. And it might be more about, how do we do this in a very concrete and practical way? How do we make this happen? I would feel like this was more just business or career or some kind of earth energy type of partnership, compromising and negotiating. If it weren't for the Page of Cups, that is the overriding energy. So let's see what that Page of Cups is about. What kind of message is this? I mean, we know it's emotional and content, but that could be a variety of different things. General readings are kind of tricky that way. Let's see if we can narrow it down just a bit. The Two of Cups. So it's some of you obviously have a very strong connection with. This is often referred to as the soulmate card, kindred spirits. It can represent best friends as well. For some of you, this still might be just in the work career arena, but you may be considering partnering up with a very good friend, maybe starting your own business or something of that sort, or entering into some kind of partnership or collaboration. And it's all about kind of trying to compromise and negotiate on how to move forward with that. I feel like many of you, this is a karmically connected relationship of the heart with this other person. And again, there's this contemplation energy about working together to move forward in this relationship. One of you may be looking at it in a more concrete, practical, air and earth energy sort of way, and one of you might be looking at it in a more emotionally based kind of way. But it looks like both of you, and you or them might also be discussing this with one or two other people, are trying to find a way to move this forward. And so let's see what this contemplation energy is, because I'm getting this strong sense in the last half of September that somebody is kind of sitting back going, what's the best way to do this? Maybe some of you are trying to decide if you want to get engaged, want to get married, want to join your lives and homes together. Love is in the air. Clarifying cards, the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. You have the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Page of Cups. So there's these little loving, supportive, encouraging messages. Definitely little, verbal or text or little communications going back and forth that are cute, that are loving in nature, maybe kind of flirtatious. There's definitely a karmic connection. It's not just, oh, I'm over the moon in love with you, but there's a real friendship connection there as well. The Ace of Cups is emotional renewal, new love and romance. The Ten of Cups, I mean, this is beautiful. We start with the Ace and we always want to progress to the Ten, which is the happy home card. So I pulled these two cards, or these two cards actually kind of leaped right out of the deck, in asking for clarification on what is this person, whether it's you or them. I feel like for many of you, it's the other person in this relationship or partnership. But for some of you, it might be you. What is being contemplated? The Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So what's being considered is the opportunity that's on the table to build something that will culminate or go towards the energy of the Ten of Cups, which is the happy home. Strong connection with home and family here. It's one of the marriage, wedding, childbirth, family, blessing cards. Beautiful, feeling like things have finally come together in a really beautiful way where home and family are concerned. So it's like somebody is, And I think this has been discussed before between the two of you. In for those of you for whom this resonates as romance, a romantic love relationship. I feel like this is something that's been discussed before and laid out on the table before, and you may be the one kind of sort of making references to it, and the other person is kind of sitting back going, is this possible? Can we make what we have into this? What would it really take? They're considering maybe more practical or possibly even economical aspects of it as well. How do we actually do I want to do this? And if so, how do we actually do this in a practical way? Maybe I feel like there might be logistic things to work out, whether it's distance, separation, money, home, property, that sort of thing. Could be the other way around. Again, it's interesting. I'm getting this feeling that whether it's you or whether it's them, on which personality side, that the two of you are showing up as, that traditional soulmate energy. Although I feel like the two of you, in many ways, at least on the surface, will come across to people as very different personality types. Which you often see. I mean, that's where the saying comes, opposites attract. I think we are sometimes drawn to people who possess more character traits in areas that we don't, or we have less of, because together, at least ideally, it makes a more balanced match. So, it's lovely energy. It's kind of cute. It's like somebody's trying to, I think the other person, or if it's you, manifesting like the King of Swords, regardless of what your sun sign is. Yeah, well, I think I'm just going to leave it there. I think that there's... yeah, I just feel like there's consideration energy. I think that more will play out probably in the month of October, and we'll see what happens, or what this looks like then. It just looks like the last half of September, one of you is really kind of trying to take some time to figure out, one, if they really want to, if this is an opportunity to really realistically take it to, this happy home level, whether it's in a romantic relationship moving further into something more concrete, more practical, like marriage, and how that would happen, or if it's in a business partnership with a really good friend or a best friend, how to make that kind of work out in a practical way moving forward. But the underlying energy is that it could have tremendous emotional benefits for your home and family, regardless of how the details of that resonate. So, interesting reading, Cancer. For those of you for whom it resonates, you'll have to write and tell me exactly how that happens if you're comfortable doing so. So that is your reading for the last half of September 2019. I hope you enjoyed it. That perhaps it brought some clarity or validation to a situation. If this reading resonated for you, if any of the readings resonate for you, and you'd like to take a deeper look at anything and schedule a personal reading with me, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. You can click on the description link below as well for more info and contact details. I offer love and romance readings, relationship compatibility reading, career, work, and finance, investment readings, gift readings, 6 and 12-month life overviews, which give a general look at what's coming in all the main areas of your life for the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. So there's a few things to choose from. For those of you who are interested, I look forward to seeing you. I'll see you guys again in a couple of weeks, Cancer, for the October 2019 general readings. And until then, as always, much joy, love, peace, and happiness to you. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.